Hello, my lovely VIPs. We were having some really weird technical issues, but now I am live. And so let's get this party started. I apologize for my delay. That was super weird. It was so weird that it just would not load and would not let me start the live. Yay. I'm here and we are going to talk all about skincare application basics. And I love the basics of skincare. So when you hop on, say hi. I'm going to get this loaded on my other phone like I do so I can see comments. Hi, Brittany. Brittany had a birthday recently. Happy birthday to you. And we just wrapped up the most amazing challenge. Who participated in our 35-day challenge? That was so much fun. And I saw so many of you participating, and I have had the most fun seeing you all win, seeing your posts, seeing how you share. But your before and afters are absolutely blowing me away. And one of the things that I love about these before and afters is that I'm seeing so many of you sharing befores from not just the beginning of this challenge, but I'm seeing some from a year ago or 2 years ago or a few months ago, and then in that 5 weeks. And the improvement and the changes in your skin is just making my esthetician heart so happy. We have Debbie and Laura and Lindsay and Diane. So many of you are on right now. Tag your buddies. We did start a little bit late. Facebook literally would not let me go live. It just kept loading and loading. And the last few weeks, there's been weird technical stuff. So I think they're making changes with the live platform because literally the last 3 weeks, there have been different technical issues we've had to deal with. So I apologize, but I see Gloria's on. Say hello. Let me know where you are joining us from. I always love to see that. And who's excited to learn all about the basics of skincare application? Today, we are going to have a glow and tell. So we are going to be playing in some products. I'm really going to show you the mechanics of application. And I am going to be doing a layering live in a few weeks. And so I'll get into kind of the why we layer products in a certain way. Today, I'm really going to get into why we apply products a certain way and how do we use them and maybe how much do we use. And let me know what questions you have because I absolutely love answering your questions. And then as always, we're doing giveaways and we're going to be giving away $25 gift cards, not only to those of you live that are participating, but we will be choosing a replay winner too. So tag your friends. And that brings me to my next point. We are doing a really fun glow together, grow together challenge. And we are inviting you all to have the opportunity to win the ultimate spa package. There's a post on it in the group. Let me know if you've seen that because we're giving away some real goodies for those of you that want to invite 3 friends and then tag them in that post. So that goes through February 11th. So make sure you check that out too. Yay! We have so many of you on. Jen's on, Juanita's on. Sasha's on. Welcome, welcome. And we're just going to be talking about skincare application basics. So the first thing I want to say about application basics, remember it's kind of the good, better, best. There's a good way to do things. There's a better way to do things. And then there's a best way. But what I will say is that skincare is subjective. So what one person's best method of application might differ from someone else's because there's also a lot of personal preference and our skin is different and it reacts and responds really differently. So this is about just helping about the mechanics of skincare and the fundamentals of application. And feel free to share your tips and tricks because I learn from you all too and how you like using these products. So for sure, if I say share how you like using these, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go through from start to finish the general order of how we use skincare and then just really talk about the basics of how you use it. Levon, that's a great question around the lips. And we're going to do more lip stuff, but yeah, I'll definitely get into that a little bit later for sure because, The lip area is very delicate. It's sensitive. It's an area of movement, and it's very exposed. So remember those areas that are very exposed to UV and we have more movement, and that are subjected to even more of that impact from loss of cell turnover, loss of collagen, all of that, and loss of the subcutaneous fat that happens as we age. There's a lot of factors that impact the lips really exponentially. So I will definitely get into that. Yay, Christine, I love that you invited your Facebook friends. That makes me so happy. When you guys invite your friends to the group, when you tag them, remember they don't need to be customers of GoPure, because we share so much in here. Just people that you think would love and benefit from our positive, uplifting community, and then just want to learn some great stuff about skin and skincare. So I got my headband on and I'm ready to go. So good, better, best is, what we're kind of talking about with order of application. So here's some things to consider. So let's talk about some things to consider with like the mechanics of skincare. It's not just the order of application and the action. It's that combination, like the order and how much and the action that we're using for ultimate product absorption and penetration, because that's how we get results, right? Who agrees with that? We're here for I like the experience of skincare. And some of that too is the way I like to apply and teach application. I feel like enhances the experience of using our products, but ultimately we want awesome results, right? Like drop some hearts if you want awesome results too. And drop some hearts if you love the experience of skincare. Like for me, it's very therapeutic. It's kind of my Zen time. I really love the experience of caring for my skin. So here's some issues that can arise when maybe we don't have an ideal application technique. So there can be pulling on the skin because we don't want to pull and tug. We can get product pilling. Maybe we get a stickier residue. Maybe we get a heaviness, or maybe we feel like we're not getting enough hydration or moisturization. So those are some of the things that can be impacted when we're maybe not using the best application technique for a specific product, because again, there's a lot of different ingredients in skincare. They have their own textures alone, and they're going to benefit from a different application technique. Yeah, Laura, it's so relaxing. Yeah, Debbie, it's definitely Zen time. It's definitely Zen time. Lindsay, Halo treatment, been debating. I think the Halo treatment is a great treatment. I think it's very high impact and low downtime. So a Halo treatment that Lindsay's asking about is an advanced aesthetic procedure that improves tone, texture, lines, a lot of those things. And I think it's pretty expensive, but I think that it's a great treatment for a lot of people. Linda, I need this because you have oily skin and maybe use too much. That is a great point. And I love that you brought that up. Oh my goodness. See, this is why I love your comments, because skin type is foundational for the choices that we make in our routine. So drop your skin type in the comments. Are you oily? Are you combination? Are you dry? Are you sensitive? Are you normal? And one thing I found really interesting is in our skincare quiz on the website, if you've taken that, that's one of the first questions is your skin type. And we get a lot of people that respond that they have combination skin. And what is interesting about combination skin is a lot of times skin is not truly combination. It's an indication that it's unbalanced. So combination generally means it just behaves. Your skin is a different skin type in different areas of the face, but combination skin, if you feel like you have it, could be an indication that your skin is unbalanced and we maybe need to make adjustments in our skincare routine. So I'm seeing, and here's what I want to say, look at all the different responses for skin type. There's so many different skin types, and the method that we use and the amount of product and the products we choose are driven so much by what we like, our skin type, and that is genetic. Our skin type is genetic and can change throughout our life. So yes, I love that point. And this is why I love when you all contribute, it really adds to the conversation. This is a conversation with all of us, right? And when you participate and you contribute, it really does add to the conversation in such a meaningful way. And I love it. And it makes me so happy. All right, so let's talk about kind of the two main motions of application. So let's think about the different motions that we use when we're applying products. Drop some words in the comments to describe the motion of how you would apply. So I know I'm not giving you a lot of details there, but what are some words that come to mind when you're thinking about applying your products to your skin, whether it be a cleanser, because we apply a cleanser differently than we apply a serum, right? And we probably apply it differently than we apply maybe our neck cream or a moisturizer. Okay, so I'm seeing words come in. Patting, up, massage. Oh, Lisa, I love the directional descriptor there. Pull up, tap, rub, press. Patting. Patting, then massage. Upward motion and pat or use roller. Circular. You guys, look at this. Look at these words you're throwing. Upward strokes. Tina says she presses in the serum. Tap. I love this. Love it. Love the descriptors. You guys are so good at this. Okay, so there's two main motions that can be broken down. The patting, pressing, pulsing, the P's. And then we have the massaging application. So mainly either are going to be pressing and patting something in, or we're going to do some type of massage and manipulation that way. Now there's still differences in those. So you can have with massaging, you can have circular motions, right, with your hand, or you can have circular motions with your fingertips, or you can have broad sweeping motions. So there's still a nuance to the motion that we're taking. And then, like I said, there's a difference between maybe what we apply with our fingertips and what we're using our whole hand. And I love using this space on my hand a lot and using the broad span from my fingertip down to get a little more pressure through here. And who here has seen any of my videos on facial massage or the lymphatic massage? We go through a lot of different motions in those, right? When I taught the lymphatic drainage, and then a few weeks ago when I taught the facial massage, there were a lot of different motions that we use because it stimulates the skin in different ways. So the different motions are going to interact with the product, and it's going to stimulate the skin differently. So those are a couple things to consider, is how is it impacting the product on my skin? And then how is it stimulating my skin? So those are kind of the two sides to it that I think about. Lori, the videos are in two places. So we have a ton of videos here in the group. And we go live on Mondays generally. And then about once a month, we do really try and get in a Sunday one. So it's not during regular working hours. And then the main Go Pure public page, there's a wealth of, information and lives there too. So the next thing is think about pressure. So these different motions, you can have a light pressure or you can use more pressure. So pressure is another dynamic component to application. So we were kind of talking about the action and the pressure and the size and all of that. So one thing to keep in mind through this process is that where you start your application is where the most product is going to be applied to. So if I'm applying like my retinol, let's say, and I apply all of my retinol in one spot, and then I try and work it around the face from that one spot, that's going to be a little more challenging. The same thing with moisturizer. So wherever we start with a product is where the most is going to be applied. So we kind of want to be thoughtful with that too, right? We want to be thoughtful with how are we putting it on the face before we manipulate it into the skin. And when we try and work a small amount of product over a large area or a large amount of product in a small area, that kind of matters, right? Who's thought of that before? Who's thought of that before? Because again, these are just the little things to think about when I'm talking about, the basics of application. Application 101, that's why we have these conversations, we have so much to learn because think about all your products. They have different textures and they do different things and we all have different skin types. Okay, now I want you all to think about and give me your best answer. Hi, Michelle from Nova Scotia. Thank you for joining us. Yvonne's coming from Ohio. Okay, so now I want you to think about one main thing. What is a thing about a product that could maybe make it better suited for pressing in versus massaging in. So let's pull up a couple different products here. Let's grab our Hydrate and Smooth Serum versus the rosehip oil. So what about a product might make it better suited for like pressing in versus massaging in? And I see some really great answers coming in. So the main thing, and I want to get a few other just thoughts, like what pops in your, remember there's no wrong answer. And I love when you all just like share your thought process through this, because I want you all to think about it. I want you all to think about, why am I doing what I'm doing? And I'm seeing, yes. So it is the slip of the product. So the texture, the consistency, the slip of the product really is a major determining factor for how we are going to like put it on the skin and then manipulate it on the skin. Because if it can glide on the skin, it's going to be very well suited for a massage technique. But products that are really dense and humectants and things that grab onto water and don't have that oil content are going to be better suited for pressing into the skin, because they have a grippiness to them almost. Think of the difference between aloe and what aloe does as it dries down and absorbs and the texture it leaves on the skin versus an oil. One has more slip and one is pressing. And then the other, like you're saying, Linda, how it absorbs into the skin. Is there one type of ingredient that maybe is better suited for pressing in versus rubbing? But a lot of it is, not every product or ingredient is going to work well with that glide, because it doesn't have that slip. It's going to generate heat and friction. So a slip, you're not going to have that friction and you're not going to generate heat, because when you add friction and heat to a product, it's potentially going to impact the formulation and what it wants to do, right? And the skin does get stimulated differently with a tap and with a massage and the pressure that we use and all of that. So the slip could indicate what might work with other products. It could potentially. It's not necessarily how it always works with other products, because that comes down to the individual ingredient and people's skin and a lot of other factors. But a lot of it is, think about like applying your serums and then maybe putting too much friction over the top with another product. We talked about those challenges where if we get pilling, if we get stickiness or tackiness on the skin, or heaviness, some of that could be impacted by, application differences and that heat and that friction and rubbing them together, instead of creating a situation that encourages absorption. Because that's what we want. We want it, like, certain ingredients are meant to absorb and some are meant to stay a little more superficial to lock everything in. So we want the stuff we want to absorb deeply to get in. And then some things we want to stay more superficial to reinforce our barrier and to lock in that hydration, right? We want to help our skin do its job better. All the things our skin does, we want to help our skin do all that stuff better. So who's ready for Glow and Tell? I just came up with that today and I loved it. So I was like, you're probably going to hear that more from me. Glow and Tell with Go Pure. And I'm still keeping up on my water, because just because the challenge is over doesn't mean we don't want to be hydrated queens here. We want to be a bunch of hydrated queens and goddesses, correct? All right. So let's just like go through the process of skincare. All right. So what's the first thing we want to do? Let's say the end of the day. It's the end of the day. What's the first step when we're doing our routine? That's the first thing we do. And I love when you all participate. So the first thing that we do, what is it? And it comes before this. To give you, yes, removal. We want to remove our makeup. And not everyone wears makeup, but I love a double cleanse, like a twofer. a 2 cleanse, because our first cleanse removes not just makeup, it's the day. It's the pollution and the dirt and the grime and the excess oil and the dust. Like, it is so dusty where I live. Some days I can feel it on my skin, and pollution is a part of existence right now. And pollution is very, very hard on our skin. It damages our skin barrier, and it actually amplifies the negative impact of UV. So even if you don't wear makeup, this, like, it's still important. And a cleanse before your traditional cleanser is really important, because it really allows to remove those things. So when you do use your cleanser, it can do a better job. Because remember, this isn't just a straightforward cleanser. This is a vitamin C cleanser, so we want all the goodness in here to be able to get into our skin. So I love using the argan oil. You can use either oil. I love using the argan oil because it is a little more emollient. I feel like it sits and breaks down the residue of makeup very, very well. And it is super rich in vitamin E, which is awesome for the eye area. Not all oils are well suited for the eye area. And we did have a question I saw in the group about removing makeup with different things. And I recommend using either something that is intended to be a makeup remover, or an oil like argan or rosehip that is good for the eye area. I don't always like coconut oil for the eye area, and I know a lot of people use it. And if you do, that is great. But coconut oil just has a very large molecule and a very thick carbon bond structure. And for some people, they can develop milia, and it can be very, very heavy. And so I like something that has a slip, that's emollient, but I like an oil that is non-comedogenic still. So that's why I love this. Oh, and Michelle is our first winner of a $25 Go Pure gift card. Drop some hearts if you want to win a $25 Go Pure gift card today, because that seems really cool. And I love when y'all participate and you guys can win. So congratulations, because we're going to be giving away more stuff and more gift cards. So that's the thing with using oil around the eye area. Remember, the eye area is very thin and it's very delicate. So we want a slip, and we want something that you don't have to work to make work. But coconut oil is just hard because it's a comedogenic rating of 4 to 5. It's very, very occlusive. And that means it like covers and locks and seals. And we don't want to be developing congestion around the eye area. And anytime something has a higher comedogenic rating, it just elevates the possibility that something could get clogged. So that's why I love the argan oil. And so application, I know that we haven't even talked about application yet. So I like to do a few pumps in the hand, and I go extra when I am removing makeup, because again, I really want it to break down, because oils break down stuff. So I would do a few pumps. So remember, amount matters. And I don't massage into my hands too much, and then I lightly massage it into my eyes. I'm not going to remove my makeup right now. I was going to go through the whole process, but my skin is feeling very sensitive right now. I actually was really sick last week, and we all know what's going on inside our body shows in our skin, and I have very sensitive skin, and I think my skin might be angry with me if I did too much to it today. So I really wanted to get super hands-on with some of this stuff, and I will. But I'm being kind to my skin, and I'm knowing its limits. But I like to, and you can always add more. So we add it on, we massage it on, and we let it sit for a minute. Okay. Then we take our cotton round, and we are very gentle, and we wipe down, and then we wipe out. And so it's very, very gentle. So I start wiping it, and then I like to add a little more water, and I like to emulsify it a little bit and massage it and then wipe again. So I do like a kind of a double round. And then I will go in with warm water with my cleanser. So who has questions about that? You just pump the oil on, massage little circular motion, so that this is the motion we're doing circular. Let it marinate. Swipe it off, get a little damp. Finish swiping it off, and then we can move to our cleanser. Now, if you guys like claws, like the makeup eraser claws, those are great. But another great option are microfiber towels. Microfiber towels can be very, very good, but we don't want to tug and drag. Yes, Lisa, we can put it all over the face. So when I have a full face of makeup on, I put it all over my face, and then I especially get it around, ow, I bumped my elbow. I pay special attention because I'm a mascara girl. I love mascara. So that's what I want to get off, because cleansers, like traditional cleansers, generally aren't intended to remove all of your makeup. And here's why. Harsh, heavy cleansers that use surfactants and things like SLS, they take off too much of the good with the bad. So when we do a pre-cleanse with the oil and massage it on, we're removing the stuff without damaging our barrier. Then we can go in with a cleanser and it will cleanse our skin and continue to remove the things we don't. Impart the good ingredients into our skin without having that impact negatively on our barrier, because when our barrier gets compromised, that's when all sorts of craziness happens, and we don't want that. So, cleansing. We have removed our makeup. We have kind of taken that oil off, and now we are going to cleanse. What temperature of water do we use when we cleanse our skin? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Lorena, I use a bunch of different mascaras actually, because she's asked me what kind of mascara I use. I don't use waterproof mascara very often. I think it's really hard on our lashes. I'm always trying different ones. This one's from the brand Iconic. I also love the Rare Beauty one quite a bit. Yes, warm, never hot, lukewarm to warm, because hot water is very stripping and cold water just doesn't do that good of a job of cleansing. You know, like imagine if you're trying to wash your dishes in cold water. It's not going to do as good of a job. But we want warm water on the skin. It'll help soften the skin. It'll help loosen some of that additional debris and everything and those oils. Because think about how oil behaves when it's hot versus cold, you know? And so we don't want to be using hot water because that will be drying on the skin, and that cold water just won't do a good enough job. So we want to take, and this is important for application, okay? And again, I'm not gonna like fully cleanse my face, but I'm going to show you this. Cleanser. My hand's usually damp because we have dampened our face first. Now we are gonna take this. You need such a small amount. You need such a small amount of this cleanser. I just put too much. Look at me go. It looks like more because it's reflecting. I'm going to actually remove part of this. I think you need about, and this is very thin, I think you need like a dime size amount of this at most, because again, a dime size amount when you put it out is going to flatten to about this size. Now here's what we're going to do, and I'm going to show you one of the biggest mistakes people make with cleanser application. Who here takes their cleanser in their hand like this on a damp face and puts it right on the face? Straight up from your hands like this. Who does that? Let me know. And there's no wrong answer. Who takes their cleanser in this form and puts it straight on the face? Now, who takes it, and I just put some water in my hands, and lathers it in your hands first? So your face is damp. I prefer activating the cleanser in my hands, and again, we do this with clean hands, and then applying it onto the face lathered. I actually do not lather my cleanser on the face. I lather it in my hands first, because again, you're gonna have to work harder to lather it. You can. It's not wrong. I'm saying like good, better, best. I actually like, and there's a lot of, because a lot of people use a lot of different products. I prefer to give a start to the lather in my hands, then apply it on my face and continue that. And then we are massaging the product in. Okay. So again, it's okay if you do that, but you're going to get a better lather. That's hard to say. Start it in your hands with it damp. My little water spritzer here. Start the lather, bop, 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 bop. Continue the lather on the face and massage it in circular motion. So cleansing is circular motions around the face. I use this part of my hands typically Work, 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 work. We're massaging, we're cleansing. How long do we cleanse for? Who knows this? Who knows the answer to this? How long do we cleanse for? Because it is a length of time. I mean, we want not only to remove any excess like dirt, grime, any maybe makeup that our remover didn't remove, but we also want the awesome ingredients to absorb, right? So it's, yeah, we want to do it for like 30 to 60 seconds. 60 is ideal, okay? So 60 seconds is the ideal amount of time because we don't also want to overdo it and be super hard on our barrier. Okay, so like shoot for 60. We don't want to, I know, and a lot of people don't think about the time. And it's interesting because we get into like a rhythm of life, you know, and it's okay to take a little bit longer with our skincare if you're going to optimize the results. And that's a big part of it, is that how much, the way you do it and the length of time. I really like that 60-second rule, and you're going to let the goodness of it get in and get the yuckies off and all that. Then we rinse our face. I'm generally, okay, who uses a washcloth to remove their cleanser and who uses like their hands and just water? I'm just curious. And Margaret, it's okay. It's not like necessarily this. Remember, it's good, better, best. I don't believe in right and wrong with skin. Well, there's some no things, but generally it's good, better, best, right? And everyone's best is a little different. Everything like works differently. So I don't want people to be like, I'm doing this wrong. It's okay. It's what's good, what's better, what's best for you. Okay. And I'm just sharing my tips to help you on this journey and help you get the results that you want. All right. So a microfiber cloth, what I will say is if you are using a towel to remove, just make sure you're not pressing too hard. Okay. I don't want, because if you're using something to remove your cleanser, it's going to have a potential impact. Like it's going to be maybe slightly exfoliating, whether or not you think of it that way. So again, we want to make sure we're not doing too much to the skin. So you just have to promise me you're going to be gentle. I like just giving some warm splashes, and then I continue the lather actually. So I lather, I give some splashes. I kind of continue the lather and the motion of the application throughout the removal process. And so I'm like splashing away, and I make the biggest mess in the bathroom when I cleanse my face. I'm like a little hippopotamus baby splashing around in there or something. It's hilarious. And there's just stuff everywhere, but that's how I do it. It's just like splashing around and massaging it off. And then if there's any residue, and this is the thing that I really love about the Go Pure cleanser, is it doesn't leave a residue. There are a lot of cleansers that I feel like do require a damp cloth to remove it because they leave such a residue on the skin. And I really don't like cleansers that leave a residue. It drives me crazy actually. And I love that the Go Pure cleanser does not leave a residue, and it doesn't require a washcloth if someone doesn't want to use it. And yeah, so I love clean cloths, biodegradable or hands. I know some people use a facial brush. You can absolutely do that. Again, don't press too hard. I love all these comments. Yes, water everywhere. Water all over the place. It's like, who lives here? Does an adult live here, or is it a child? No, it's me. It's me. It's my fault. I made the mess with the water. Diane, what are your thoughts on Clarisonic? Well, Clarisonic actually, I think they closed and went out of business, but that type of brush, is okay. But remember, whenever you're using a brush on the skin, it is going to have an exfoliation component to it. So you just have to be mindful of what you're using in conjunction with it, so it's not too much on the skin. Generally, I think there's a lot of marketing involved with cleansing devices. A good cleanser doesn't need a device, but I know a lot of times we like them, and they feel good and they work well, and they work with, again, it comes down to skin type. Oilier skin types can potentially benefit from that, but I will say it's just kind of up to you. It's totally personal. And then we pat dry. But if you are following with a scrub, you can leave your face damp. So next, if you're going to scrub, this is where scrubbing would come in to play. And look at what I just ordered myself, this cute little tiny spatula from Amazon. So if we're going to scrub, it would be next in this process. And again, we don't need a ton. We just get a little scoop out for amount. And then again, there are two ways to do this. One of the reasons why I like activating cleansing products and exfoliating products in my hands is it also gives a good distribution across my hands to apply on my face. So two ways to apply a scrub like this. Dot it around the face first with the face damp, and then massage it from multiple small points around, or you can just get it distributed on your hands and then massage that way. It depends. When I'm exfoliating and using a scrub, I use this part of my hand and usually no more. So I like dotting it around the face or just working it here at my fingertips and then massaging it on damp skin. Now you kind of need to know with a scrub that you want the product itself to do the work. You don't want to use hard pressure, and it's a massage. So it's a circular motion of massage, and you don't want to feel it like, you don't want to like scrub and be like scrubbing, because that can again just damage the barrier. Even when you have an elegant product like the microdermabrasion resurfacing exfoliator, it's a very elegant, sophisticated, safe scrub. But any person can scrub too hard and still damage the barrier. Do you use it on the neck and chest? Yeah, absolutely you can. And that is a great point that I did want to mention, and I will get to. But in the world of aesthetics, this is not the face. This is the face. So from the décolleté, neck, and face up, this is the face. So whenever we're using these products, assume that they can be used kind of on those areas, except for the few targeted products, because again, this is what we consider the face. When you get a facial, you're getting all the works from here. And a lot of times, the amounts that are suggested for products they're talking about this whole area, not just here. So if you feel like the product amount is a lot, that's because it's probably meant for a bigger area than maybe you realize. Yes, and avoid the eye and lip area with the scrub for sure. That's really a great comment. Thank you. I love that. This is why I love, see, you guys just throw the best stuff in here. So scrubbing comes after cleansing. On that damp skin, we massage it gently, and with the microdermabrasion resurfacing exfoliator, that's a mouthful, but it's great. You can actually let it sit on the skin like a mask. It has glycolic acid, lactic acid, and salicylic acid, and it also has some really nourishing botanicals. And if you let it sit on damp skin after you've massaged it on, those exfoliating acids can actually get to work. And if you have oilier skin, if you're prone to large pores, if you feel like your skin just needs a really extra boost of exfoliation, let it marinate on the skin a little bit, let it live on the skin, and let those exfoliating acids do their job a little bit more. And then I do recommend, that's a great question, Debbie. I like keeping exfoliation generally to 3 times a week or less. I say 2 to 3, but a lot of times it can even be 1 to 3. And for scrubbing, it depends on your skin, but even 1 to 2 times a week for a scrub, and maybe a third time using the anti-wrinkle sheet mask and just focusing purely on like glycolic acid for your exfoliation. We can create a cycle in our skin of barrier damage through over exfoliation, and it can make our skin feel rough, and we think, oh my goodness, my skin's rough, I need to exfoliate more, but all we're doing is continuing that cycle. So I am actually start with 1 to 2, maybe 3 times a week for scrubbing, but I love like a 1 to 2 scrub, and then the other night, maybe the third, because I love a good sheet mask. I do. Yes, and Christine, I love explaining. I'm your resident explainer. And it's important, these things. So rinse off, gently rinse, I don't like always using a washcloth with a scrub because that's just like doubling the friction, and I like being able to use my hands to feel the pressure and control. And that's why I love actually using my scrub in the shower. When I scrub, I pretty much exclusively scrub in the shower because it makes it a lot easier to rinse it off without having additional pressure and everything. So I'm a shower scrubber, and I like that way I can get my neck. This area right here can really benefit from a scrub sometimes. So in the shower, it's so much easier to like scrub and scrub and scrub and scrub and, and then just rinse it all off very easily. So, scrubs can live in the shower, and it makes it really just kind of ideal. So who wants to have a mask minute with Stephanie? Who wants to talk about masking now and masking application? So masks come in multiple forms. We have the Enzyme Mask and the sheet masks, and there are 2 sheet masks. Let me know if you've used the sheet masks. I love the sheet masks. I love the Brightening Mask and the Enzyme Mask. We know that this is a favorite. This is like the ultimate if you're going to gift someone something, the Enzyme Mask. If you want to indulge a little bit, the Enzyme Mask. If you want a boost of anything, it's the Enzyme Mask. So now here's the thing with masking is that it depends on the product, how you're going to apply it, right? I love applying the Enzyme Mask with a brush, and we had an Enzyme Mask party in December, and so that video is still up, and so I show you all about how to use the Enzyme Mask. I love using a brush with the Enzyme Mask. The skin can be slightly damp still, and then we take a little bit on our brush, and I'm going to show you on my hand, and then we just can sweep a thin layer. I like going under this eye, under that eye, but not too close, and then across my forehead, and I kind of work from there. Because remember, where we start is where the most product's going to be applied. So when you're going in with a brush, you actually have to be kind of mindful of that. So I kind of go boop, 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 and then I work it through there, thin layer, because this starts white, and then it is absorbs, it gets more clear, right? And it is, it's so nice with the brush. I love applying this with the brush. If you don't have the brush, if you haven't tried it, it's so affordable and it really is amazing. And it just sweeps on so nicely. You get the perfect amount of product. But if you want to use your hands, you absolutely can. And that's what I would use, kind of that broad, this area of my fingers. I would sweep it, broader strokes. I wouldn't necessarily do circular massage, but you could if you really wanted to massage in those enzymes and everything. But I like just broad stroking it on the face. I think it feels so amazing. And then we let it sit 15, 20 minutes. And then this is when I use this to get it off. I like using a damp, warm washcloth to gently remove it. So this is when my microfiber cloth comes into play, is actually when I'm removing the Enzyme Mask. But it feels so good. So how do you apply this? Do you use the brush? Do you use your hands? Do you use a circular motion? Do you use kind of those broader sweeps? We've been doing a lot of massaging motions and application so far. We haven't done the tap and press yet, but we will. We will get into that for sure. So GoPure does sell the brush. So there's a whole section on accessories where we have the cute headband, which I love. And I love this, especially when we are masking, because I like getting my product, whether I'm scrubbing, using the Enzyme Mask, I like getting it up to my hairline. We can actually get a halo of damage because we stop and we don't want to get our product into our hair. I mean, that seems like a reasonable assumption. I don't want to get my product into my hair, right? So that's why I also use certain products in the shower, especially if I'm washing my hair. That way it doesn't matter. But the headband's so great because you just get it up right close to where you want, and then it's awesome. But we have all these great accessories on the site, and I love it. Yes, you can just rinse in lieu of the towel. For sure, you can totally just rinse it off. It's just kind of the density of the product. For me and my skin, I like using the towel. But again, good, better, best is different for each and every one of us. Okay, so I love that some of you will just rinse it. I know some of you like to leave it on. And so this is how I like to remove it. So that's the thing, is that our good, better, and best for application technique is going to vary based on personal preferences too. Hi, Rose. Welcome, welcome. Now, sheet masks are a little bit different, right? So I like to open these up after cleansing. So we wouldn't be using like our scrub, our enzyme mask, and our sheet mask at the same time. No, no, no. But after cleansing, if you want to, that's where I like to go in with the sheet mask. Or we're going to talk about toning in a minute. There's a caveat there. Because when we tone, it kind of balances the skin and removes stuff underneath. So a lot of times with sheet masking, it can come after toning if we want to have all of the goodness of this continue to live on the skin. So there's some nuances to this, I promise. But we're in masking right now, so I'm talking about this now. Lay it on the face. So we lay it on the face and we let it sit, right? We smooth out the wrinkles in the mask. So once we smooth out the kind of the lines in the mask, we can use our hands to massage. This is when I love busting out my roller or a roller, and we can roll, do all of that if we want. I don't think the roller is available now, but I know a lot of you have it or have one. So I did want to mention that because that does come into application. Yeah. Laurel, it scares your cats. My pug is totally blind, so he doesn't even know what's going on. But I'm sure he would be like, what is happening right now? I just like to make sure I tease my children when I'm wearing it because I think they're hilarious to wear around the house. But that's not part of the application process. It's just optional to go around and act like a silly goose when you're wearing it. So you can, when you remove it, we leave them on for 10, 15, 20 minutes, and then you're going to have product residue on your face, right? After a sheet mask, you're going to have product residue. So this is where application and removal are personal. Do you want to leave that residue on and treat it like a super serum and massage it in? Do you maybe want to remove that excess? Maybe if with the this anti-wrinkle sheet mask, because it does have glycolic acid, maybe you do want to remove a little bit of that. You wanted it as a treatment. We want to remove the excess and then go on with our routine. It kind of depends and it's personal. So when you remove the sheet mask, your options are to fully rinse the face with something like a washcloth, to massage in the excess product and let it sit on the skin, or to follow with toning. And then you could tone and kind of balance the skin. It would remove some of the excess for sure. So again, skincare is personal. It is very nuanced. What do you do with sheet masks? What do you do? Do you rinse after? Do you tone after? Or do you just massage it in? Heather's asking, is it okay to leave the enzyme mask on overnight? I believe it is, but if you did that, I would treat it like a sleeping mask and do it at the end of my routine, even after my moisturizer, and I would use it as like an enzymatic sleeping mask to kind of seal the deal. It has like 10 different nourishing oils and it's amazing. And so again, if I were going to leave on the enzyme mask at night, it would actually be the last step in my entire routine. So I see massage in, massage in, massage in. Okay. So a lot of you are massaging in that sheet mask. So if you're going to massage in the sheet mask, your toning would go before it. So let's talk about toning. Yeah, because I love massaging it in. So toning is meant to restore the proper pH to the skin, to balance the skin, and to prepare it for our treatments and our serums and our moisturizers and all of that. So there's two main ways to apply this. You can apply it on a cotton round, or you can just use your hands. So again, this is a hydrating toner. It is very gentle and nourishing, and it feels so good. It is richer in texture than a lot of toners. So like when I put it on here, it's a little, you can see that it has all those yummy humectants. And it's going to drip off maybe. Maybe it'll show you the texture. See how it's thicker like that? See that little droplet? That's how you can see that texture of this hydrating toner. See that my little drop? And how it's just staying on there. So it's really like nourishing and delicious. Spray your toner in your face. I love that. You can also pump it in your hands and apply it like an essence. So apply it like you're applying a serum to the face. So those are the two main ways. So who here uses their hands and applies it like an essence on the face, and who here uses a cotton round? I use a cotton round personally, but I have combination skin. And so I recommend, if you're going to choose, oily and combination skin can benefit from using it on a cotton round, normal, dry, sensitive skin types, either way, but you could obviously just pump it in your hands and press it around the face. I will say if you rub it too much, you could start getting some of that friction, because this has that aloe in there. So this is aloe, witch hazel, and rosehip. Love, love, love it. Super hydrating, all of that. But again, there's not a wrong way with this, because it's so nourishing and hydrating and awesome. Either way is totally fine. And I know a lot of people like those reusable cotton rounds too, which is really, really cool. Oh, Vicky, if you've never used the toner, oh my goodness, it's amazing. I love it so much. I love this toner because it's not a super astringent toner. It's a truly balancing, hydrating toner. And it works for all skin types, and it feels so good. So this is not okay, that's a really great question, Lori. So witch hazel, pure witch hazel, is going to behave differently than a product that has witch hazel in it. So the first ingredient in this is water. Then you have your witch hazel, your geranium, and your geranium water. So it's not like geranium. It says geranium hydrosol, which means, you know how you have like rose toners and that sprays on? That's typically a rose hydrosol, rose water. So this uses water, witch hazel. It uses that geranium hydrosol, so a geranium water, and aloe. So then it goes into like your botanical hyaluronic acid. It has jojoba and rosehip seed. So you actually have a balance of oil loving and water loving ingredients in this product. And so this is not going to be the same as like just using witch hazel, which is going to be a bit more astringent on the skin. But witch hazel in and of itself is very anti-inflammatory. It's very good on the skin. And so that's why it's well suited for all skin types, even dry and sensitive skin, because you have a mix of those botanicals. You have a mix of that oil and water and all of that. And it's not this like astringent toner. It's a truly balancing, hydrating toner. Yeah, it's so good. I love it. That's a great question, by the way. And I see a question about getting rid of blackheads. That is a combination of cleansing, exfoliating, and utilizing barrier supportive products. Some of my favorites. We actually have a kit on the website that is our pore perfecting kit that has some of my favorite products for battling blackheads and large pores. So make sure you check that out. I got to keep moving. All right, serums. Serums. Who's ready to talk serums? Day serums and night serums. So now we are getting into the pressing motion. So for daytime, our daytime best friends are our Brighten and Even Serum, our Hydrate and Smooth Serum. The analogous products for these in the originals line would be the Vitamin C Serum and the Hyaluronic Acid Serum. So it's an either or that we're using. So these besties and these besties for daytime. Now, damp skin is ideal. It should be prepped after our cleansing and toning. It should have a proper amount of dampness on the skin. If you want to give like a boost of just a spray of a rose water, or just like, this is just water, onto the skin, you totally can. I'm going to show you this. Glasses are coming off, ladies. Now, for this, my rule is we don't drop them straight onto the face. There's so many things on social media where you see them like going like this. I'm not a fan of that because we don't want to contaminate our product. We don't want to do that. On our packaging, we say 4 to 5 drops. Now you can say, Stephanie, that seems like a lot. But again, it's not just this face. It's our neck and our décolleté. So when we're saying 4 to 5 drops, that's this, not just this, okay? Now, and Diane will show you when to use the niacinamide. And Vicki, if you can't get into the pressing, that is totally fine. And that, remember, everyone's method is different, and the products are even going to feel very differently on people's skin. And it's really dry where I live in Colorado. We don't have like any moisture in the air. And so if you live in a place that's more humid, that could even impact it. It's your skincare, it's your routine, it's your preference. There's no right and wrong with this. There's just the good, better, best, and what we feel like works best for us, okay? Now I take it and I'm gonna drop it into my hands. Boop, boop. Then I don't know why I always put it in the palm of my hand and then scoop it into my fingertips. Probably it's just easier, but that's literally what I do. I drop it into my hand and then I get it into my fingertips. I work it like this with my little tiny silent clap. And then I start pressing. And I apply it around the face. See, now I have it around the face. Work in what I have here. And then we continue to press. That's the way I do it. And it's kind of funny, but it's just second nature. So I get it in my hand, my fingertips, apply, and then do a broader press. This is going to stimulate the skin differently. If I rubbed this into my face or made it glide, because of the aloe content and the humectants in this on my skin, it would start getting tacky. It would start getting sticky, right? So that's why I do the press. And then I'll even like a little bit here, not too close. I'll just tippy tap right here. And then I'll let it sit for 30 seconds or so. And then same thing with the Hydrating Smooth Serum. Get my drops, and then I would go down my neck. I just have a lot on right now, so I'm not, but I'll show you how I do it with my neck. So again, this has more slip to it. So you saw me do something a little different. The Hydrating Smooth Serum has more slip. So I'll get it across my hands, press it around, then I'll start pressing down my neck. Get it on my neck. This is how I apply the serums on my neck. I do a broad, I have it on my hands, boop, 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 and then like work it down. Oh, I tapped my mic, sorry. I love the glow. I love the glow these serums give my skin. They make me so happy. And it's okay if you feel like you feel like by the time it gets to my face, it's fully absorbed on my fingertips. Well, I mean, that happens, so I use a little bit more. And if you need to, you could give a boost of hydration and make sure your skin's damp, but play with the amounts, totally play with the amounts. Now, where are we at? So we got to talk about nighttime stuff. So applying our day serums is different than our night routine of retinol. Okay. So retinol is a little bit different. I don't do this for under the eye. That's a really great question, Michelle. I'm going to show you this. So what I do is I'll take a little bit that's left after applying for the eye area with these serums. Now these are the day serums. What you could is this type of press here, and I am going to talk about eye stuff. But let's talk about it because where do I have that written here? I know I have it in here. We're going to talk about it. But one of the things about the eye area is this area here where we get crow's feet and lines and then down onto our cheekbone. This is different than our underlid and our upper lid. I am very conservative with what I recommend being put on the eyelid and up into the lower lash line and lower lid. I love pressing like a vitamin C out here or the hyaluronic acid out here, but I'm very mindful of this area and this area here because the skin is thinner and we can get stuff in our eyes, but also that area just has different needs. So that vitamin C can be great here. The hyaluronic acid can be great here, but I don't always like to get too close personally. Now, should we finish with an upward movement on the neck? Christine, I'll show you. I do need to hurry, but because I'm just chatty over here, I'm going to show you my ideal neck application when we get to that point. I promise. So now it should not feel sticky when we apply it in a way that doesn't have a lot of friction and we're not using a lot. If you feel like you are getting that stickiness, you want to make sure you're not using too much product, too much friction, and you want to make sure that you do have an appropriate amount of like dampness on the skin, and that can really help. And you can just tweak it and see what works best for you. So now let's talk about retinol. Retinol, after cleansing and toning, any like masking we've done or whatever, retinol is its own thing. Okay, retinol needs to be applied on dry skin. We do want the skin to dry because we don't want the potential for irritation, and we just want a pea-sized amount. Okay. And that might be kind of, no, it's not, it looks bigger than it is. This is not a big P. But we don't want a ton of retinol, okay? We don't want to overdo it with our retinol. I like to then sandwich it between my 2 index fingers here, making a mess. Then I dot it around the face. I just did my vitamin C, my hyaluronic acid, so I'm not going to put on my retinol right now, but I dot it evenly around the face. Then I will actually lightly glide it across the face because I want to make sure I'm getting an even application of it. So that's usually what I do for retinol is I dot it around and then with very light pressure, use a glide around the face for that because I just want to make sure that it is being smooth because with my skin, if I have a spot on my face where there is more retinol and it sat there, I'll know about it. So that's what I do. Now, we want to make sure that we are avoiding the eye area around the nostrils and the lip area with our retinol because it can be drying, it can be irritating. And yes, I do all this before I do my eye care. I do my eye care after my treatment serums and any boosters. Then I move on to eye care and then moisturization. And I am going to have a really awesome live in a few weeks on like layering and all that stuff. So we will get into it. So Debbie, with retinol, if you feel like it is drying, make sure you check out the live I did in December on the retinol sandwich. So retinol is still very effective if it is sandwiched between 2 moisturizers. So what you can absolutely do is cleanse, tone, do your eye care or any boosters, put on your moisturizer, then put on your retinol, and then put on your moisturizer again. And that is sandwiching your retinol in between 2 moisturizers. It's buffering, it is very moisturizing, and that can help if you feel like retinol is more irritating on your skin, if you're just getting used to retinol, or if you do feel like it is more drying either for your skin or even just seasonally, because that happens. And the retinol sandwich is amazing, and it doesn't diminish the effectiveness of the product. It can just help buffer it, and I'm a huge fan. Especially, I will sandwich in the winter or when I feel like my skin is feeling more sensitive or sensitized, because I do have very sensitive skin. So you can just, and I think it sandwiches really well with the anti-wrinkle moisturizer. It's a great method. I love it very much. Now, so we have cleansed, we've toned, we've masked, we've done all the fun things with our serums. Now on to boosters. I see a lot of questions with our niacinamide. So the bread for the retinol sandwich is your moisturizer, Marcia. So it's the bread are the moisturizers and the meat or whatever of that sandwich is the retinol itself. So it's sandwiched in between 2 moisturizers. Yeah, I know I'm giving you so much information. So boosters are next. So I consider boosters anything that pairs with your serums in your regular routine to make them work better, to get more results, to target additional concerns, that type of thing. So I consider like the spot pen and the niacinamide booster a booster. And this I feel like has a great slip to it. And this can be used, and I like to do this after my serums. I know there's no wrong way. Some people do it first, but I like having my vitamin C on my skin first. I like putting my my hyaluronic acid after that during the day, and then this, because one of the things that niacinamide does is it's very supportive of our barrier. And when you start reinforcing that barrier, I know that that's going to really like start locking in the other things I put in underneath it. No, I don't have Botox, Anne. So I don't have Botox or fillers. So Anne is saying that, yes, I don't have Botox or fillers in my face. I am a 40-year-old esthetician and mom of 3 teen boys. And really the foundation of what I do in my skin is my daily skincare routine. I have not done advanced treatments. Don't like my skin very much. I have very reactive skin. My skin marks very easily. Some of the sun damage that I have on my skin has actually been from advanced treatments that I've done in the past, and I've really only done a handful of them. So this is my base. And I welcome those questions. I absolutely welcome those questions because that's reasonable to ask. I think it's a very reasonable question. I'm very transparent with you all. I am. I'm always going to be very transparent and open and honest. Like, I got your backs. No worries. Like, that's why I'm here. I'm here for all of you. And so yeah, ask away. That's like totally great. Okay. So niacinamide. I feel like the niacinamide has a great slip. So boop, boop, boop. And you can, I am guilty of using, I love this. If you don't have this, I'm going to tell you, we actually went viral on TikTok on this because it's so good. And it's like this, it's such a superstar and it works for everyone's skin and skin type. And I just want to slather myself. I would like bathe in it if I could. And it has a great slip. So I press it, but I get it on this part of my fingertips and I press it around. I start through here. See how I'm getting it all on with this? And I'm pressing it. I get my forehead, any residual that I had here, press it around, and then I do this tap around my eyes. And then I work any excess, and I can grab a few extra drops. I don't always just use the residual down my neck. I'll grab a few more drops, put it on my neck, put it on my décolleté. Yeah, Lisa, and this is another, if you're going to gift someone something, and this can be used day or night. I use it day and night because it literally helps with so many things. It balances oil. It helps refine the look of pores. It actually helps improve the appearance of dark spots, and it is barrier supportive. Everyone needs barrier supportive ingredients, and niacinamide is like a barrier supportive superstar. But what's cool about it is it plays nicely with like everything. We actually used to think that niacinamide did not work with vitamin C. But we actually found that that was not a good study, and the way the concentrations that they used and the environment that they were in were not accurate to how they actually behaved in the real world and on the skin. And it was a very old study. It was like and so niacinamide works literally with everything. Yeah, Janice, this is the product that I go through the fastest. And I don't think you can use too much of it. I think it feels great on the skin. I think it gives a gorgeous glow. And I will say this is the product that I go through the fastest. Hands down. I'm obsessed with that. I want everyone else to be obsessed with it too. It's so good. So you just press it around the face, and then you can go in with if you had your spot corrector pen, which I do love so much, and then massage. I have a spot here that I've been working on that's doing so good, you all. This has taken this spot down so much, and you just massage it in. Yeah, I just love it, but it's different. Here's the thing with serums and why there's a difference in time. We have our serums that we generally use during the day. So we're using those once a day. We use at night. We're using that once. I don't even use this 7 nights a week because my night routine varies. I use this twice a day, 7 days a week. So that's why too. There is a difference, but it's worth it. Vicki, we're going to work on that glow. Okay. We will. I'm here. I'm your glow coach. We're going to get glowing together. Okay. Cause that glow is amazing. And it is worth it. It is worth it. All right. Eye care. Now our eye gel is so good and it's hydrating. You just need a half P. Start with a half P, and we do our little index finger clap. And then we tap, 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 tap. So this is our application. I know, I'm the glow coach. I used to be a Little League baseball coach. Did you guys know that? Coach Classy, because that's how you say my last name. Coach Classy here, getting your glow. So we tap it, tap it, tap it. And I like the little tippy taps. Now, everyone says, ring finger, index, middle finger. Again, I know that this is the way you're supposed to do it, but I always end up doing this and then switch. But then we can do these little tiny circles if you want, and we can do a little massage from inside out. I'm not pressing, I'm actually stimulating lymph, because when we do an effective eye massage, it can be really effective at diminishing our dark circles. And so the vessels around our eyes are very thin. The skin is very thin. They're very delicate. And as we age, they become fragile, and we actually can leak hemoglobin. And that's what gives us those dark spots. So anything that we can do to help move the lymph, stimulate circulation, and potentially move some of that hemoglobin and excess iron along can be helpful. Yes, you can. I don't do it during the day because it messes with my makeup. Okay, so I don't like putting it on my lid, but you can. But see, I do that if you're gonna, and then massage. But As it dries down, you'll feel the grip a little bit more. And once you start feeling that and any dragging, because then you stop with the massage. You can absolutely use a roller if you want to just push along and work outward, outward, outward. It feels nice. It feels good. And then I always work everything down towards my ear and then down. But these are great questions. So now that we have done all of those fun layers, I know, Debbie, I'm like your worst best friend. I'm like, you need everything. Here's your skincare list. I'm the best worst. It's okay. But it's like, once you understand what everything does, then it's less intimidating. Lisa, that's why we have bundle and save. But there's always good deals. And that's why we have our sets too. The sets are such a good deal. You know, they're such a good deal. You can absolutely I don't get it in the eye, but you can. It would be the same motion. I focus on here a lot and then maybe work up through here and through here. So you can put it on your lid, but again, the skin on our lid is very, very thin. And so we want to make sure we're just not using like tons of product, okay? Now, let's talk about moisturizers. And then I'll show you my neck cream tips. Okay, so moisturizer is great. I love these because it just gives you the perfect amount of product. 1 or 2 pumps. I start with 1 and let it absorb and then see how my skin feels and what it needs. Work it between my fingers, and again, I kind of do a double-sided sweep and then work it here and then I will do light massaging motions. I'm not trying to rub it in. I'm trying to glide it across the face and then let the product absorb. You don't want too much friction. I'm being very delicate with how I'm applying this. And then I'm going to work it down my jawline. Because we don't have to like use our hands to get the skincare in our skin. We use them to move the product across the face. But again, if you're rubbing and massaging too hard, we have other layers under here, right? We have all these layers and I don't want to agitate that. I want everything to be absorbing and being happy. And so we do this gentle glide, and as I feel it absorbing, I don't want to work it too much. Now, neck cream. This neck cream is a dream. I'd go 2 pumps here. Let's go 2 pumps. Of course, maybe I'll take a look because I have my high neck on and can't get it as down. Now, here's what I'm going to do. Take it, neck cream. I like going up the center a little bit, not the sides. Up the center, down my jaw, up the center, along my jaw, and down the sides in a circular motion. So up, up, crisscross, out our jawline. Jaw pulls, woo, feels good. Down, and then we're going to open this area up here. And I do the little scissor technique along the collarbone. Up, up, jawline. I'm going to scissor my ear here really quick. You know how I feel about a good massage. I'll take the time, but we don't want to be pushing too hard on our neck. But our collarbone, our chest, our neck, and our jawline up to our ears is a huge system of those lymphatic pathways, and it can do a lot when you open those up because our lymph system, remember, doesn't have a pump. It relies on gravity and manipulation to move, and it can do a lot for depuffing. So that up, up, jawline, jawline, massage down, it makes me happy. Work this open, and it feels so good, and you can work it onto the chest, and you can do that day and night. Yeah, Laura, that's such a good point. So it's interesting that people that know me in real life and have known me and followed me for a long time, because I've been on social media for a very long time as a skincare and beauty educator. And I've had a ton of people buying Go Pure. And I don't know who buys it because I'm your educator and I don't see who buys things. But I have all of these people that I know that are like, I saw you were, what you're doing, and I've been watching you, and I literally just bought everything from GoPure. And I'm like, everything? And they're like, yes, I bought everything. And they're just shocked. They're like, I got literally everything for such a reasonable price. I'm like, yeah, that's what we do here. We make amazing products that aren't full of garbage, that are packed with awesome, effective clinical ingredients at a silly affordable price. And that's our jam. That's our thing. Because it's good stuff. And when you have good stuff, you need all of it. So oils. Let's finish it up with oils because we've been talking for a long time. Oils I like to finish with. And we started with oils, and I like finishing with oils. So GoPure has been around, I think, 5 years now. Can you use a sheet mask too often? Probably. The glycolic acid one, I don't think you could overdo the brightening mask. But that's a great question. Now, argan oil, rosehip, either one. We started with argan, so maybe I'll show you rosehip. 1 pump or less to finish our routine. I do like to work this into my hands. Now, oils, you can, at the end of your routine, just focus on an area where you want to boost the glow. Or you can press all around the face. I use less during the day. I use more at night. I slather myself up like a glazed donut at night. I want the glow, I want the shine, I want to lock it all in because this really just takes our moisturization to the next level. Their oils are super packed with omegas and fatty acids that are a really important part of our barrier, so it's going to be barrier reinforcing. They're packed with vitamins and nutrients and minerals and all this stuff that's so good. So I will take a little bit extra. Oh, and I forgot to show you this. Hold on. A little around the eyes. And I didn't do this, naughty me. I will take our eye gel in my eye care step and I will pat it around my lips. And I'll get it all around my lips. Naughty me, I didn't do this. Let that absorb. And then at the end with my oils, I do a finishing boost with a little bit around my eye and around my lips. And it just seals it all in. It gives that nourishing boost, but you have to play with amounts because everyone's skin type is different. And it seems counterintuitive, but even oily and combination skin can benefit from the application of oil because it can be balancing. And sometimes we are overproducing oil because we're doing so much to remove it that our skin is just continually trying to replace it. So yes, I prefer to use oils after my moisturization step. And I want you to think of this, and I'm going to get into this in my live when we talk about layering. But oil and water don't mix, right? Unless you have them like crafted into an incredible formulation. But generally, if you just tried to mix oil and water, they wouldn't mix. So if we are doing things that are reinforcing the oil content on our skin by applying an oil, it is going to make it more challenging for those water components to absorb. So that's why I like finishing with an oil, and that's why they say thinnest to thickest. We go water-based to more oil-based generally, because if I put too much oil on my skin before my moisturizer, those oil-loving ingredients are going to just like soak up, but it could make it more challenging for the water loving components to absorb. But it just depends. Like that's how I prefer to do it. And I don't like rubbing because once I get that oil on, I don't want to agitate those other layers I have underneath. So I want to press it on. And yes, oils can make your foundation go on amazing. It can give you this awesome glow. And I love playing with them. But again, sometimes I need like half the tiniest amount of this. And sometimes at night I use a ton. During the day I use much less. And I do focus more in the areas where I want to glow, pat around the eye and around the lips, let it absorb. I know. Yeah, this is how I teach. But I'm a glazed donut, happy little baby hippo in the sink who loves retinol sandwiches. I'm a simple girl. I'm a simple girl in a skincare world. So essentially, Christine, yes, you kind of start and finish with oil because there's such a huge oil component to our skin, and it is literally that the lipid layer of our skin that holds in all of that water. The other brightening mask is that used with the Enzyme Mask or days you don't use the Enzyme Mask. I don't use my brightening mask on days when I'm using other masks. It could pair really well, though, with the microdermabrasion exfoliator. Let me find it. Do I have it in the bucket here? Hold on. Let me pull it out for you guys. My skincare bucket. Let me show you. So the brightening mask, and that's a great question. The brightening ingredients are the vitamin C, you have the snow mushroom, which is really hydrating, and you have your licorice root, right? So you're wanting to target dark spots with this. I wouldn't necessarily pair it with the enzyme mask. I think that on a day that you scrubbed and exfoliated a little bit could be a great day to pair this, because this doesn't have any other exfoliants in it, and you have just maybe prepared your skin to penetrate even more deeply. So I don't always pair masks, but this could be a really great combo together. Yes, and sunscreen is your final step during the day. So with sunscreen, you need 1/3 to 1/2 teaspoon all over your face and neck. And then again, it depends on your specific SPF product, how it would apply, but that is your final step in your daytime skincare routine, even after your oils. And this is really interesting because I get asked a lot, can I mix my oil or my moisturizer with my SPF? I do not recommend that, because your SPF is rated and formulated in a very specific manner. And if you mix oils in or you mix other products in with it, you're essentially changing that formulation. And it might not have the same SPF. It might totally mess up its ability to protect you from the sun. So I like to get my skincare on, let it absorb for a bit before I put on my SPF. I use this mask. I usually mask at night because that's when I have the most time, but this actually can be used day or night. And I would do it after my cleansing and toning, because I want to massage in the goodness of this. And then either I would just moisturize right after, or I would do a few more serums and then moisturize after this. I love sheet masks, but I have the most time at night. And so when you're masking, you need a bit more time because they need to sit on the skin a bit. So I just say, when do you have the time to do those steps? Because they just are a little more time intensive, right? All right. I've taken up way more time than I should have, but I thought this was important to go through. How long do you leave it on? I leave them on for like 10, 15 minutes. You can kind of feel with the sheet masks when the serum starts absorbing. So I don't want it to fully dry down on the skin. You can feel when that serum starts absorbing, and then when I feel like the sheet mask itself is getting a little more dry, I remove it. But again, I live where it's really dry, so stuff dries down faster here where I live, and it's kind of annoying. So, but like 10 to 15 minutes is fine for a sheet mask for sure. Yes, this was so much fun. We had great winners. I missed them because I was talking so much, but I love your questions. I love these conversations. I love how much you all participate. I love that I get to be your glow coach, and we had a little glow and tell today. And this was so much fun. So I love doing these. And if you ever have topics you want us to cover, leave those in the comments here too, because we're always looking, we do these pretty much weekly, and we always want to cover topics that you all will love and that will benefit you all. Remember, invite your friends to the group if they're not in this group. We're doing that huge spa day fun package giveaway thing with all these great products and a steamer. So make sure that you find that post. Yes, Carrie, this is up for replay, and we're still choosing replay winners. We're going to throughout the week. So, share and watch this from the beginning, and you guys have all been amazing. I know this one was a bit longer, but we were really going through it today. So I appreciate your patience with, how indulgent I get in sharing with each and every one of you. So definitely catch it on replay, share with your friends, invite your friends to the group, follow us on all the social channels, and thank you so much for your participation, your questions. This has been so much fun. You all have an amazing, amazing day. And remember, let's glow together. Let's glow together, everyone, because that's what we're here to do. Uplift, and radiate both the inside and out. So have an amazing Monday, and we will see you soon. Bye.